Yeah, basically I will not tell something really complicated. I have only pictures, and I don't know why even Dominic invited me. So usually I'm not giving a talks, but instead I'm on the place of the Dominic. So basically I'm presenting these speakers who are really doing cool stuff. And first of all, I would like to thank Dominic and also Ali Pasha, who invited me. And it was really fast. Usually in Frankfurt it doesn't work like that someone invites you. So you need to explain and to get the location, and then the questions are coming, you know, what we will get out of that, and so on and so on. So here the story was completely different. And also very sorry that we are decreasing your popularity with our techie talks. Yeah. Okay, so basically I will just tell our story, nothing special, how we started and where we are right now, and why we are doing that, because we are doing that as a hobby. I'm working in a consulting company and in field of analytics, digital transformation, and so on. I'm originally from Uzbekistan, and I'm here for like 5-6 years in Germany. And by the way, I also graduated here at Wiesbaden Business School at Blechstraße 44, and also know a few good cafes here, but I wasn't living here, so I was coming from Frankfurt, going to the school, and then going back. Yeah, but I love Wiesbaden. It's absolutely different, and it's not far from Frankfurt, but the community and the place and the people, I can feel, for example, I know Ali Pasha really well, and he's a really different guy, yeah, in comparison to the Frankfurt. And then it's just a few compliments. Okay, so I would like to go back 5 years ago. What was the idea when we heard such buzzwords as big data and data science and AI? I think that time was not that popular. It's popular right now. And the question was, what is the big data and what is the data science? And a lot of people, and especially companies, were thinking about AI and data science as a kind of like a magic, mystical force that can solve all the problems and can attract more people to buy more and get into the core idea. So, and then I was asking also myself, at the time I was also interested, from my background, I'm coming from the business, I'm not the mathematician or statistician, so basically I was always working with the business, with the use case and so on. And then I was asking myself why this data is interesting for me, and data science and AI and so on. And then I found an answer. I was just curious about people. For me, it was interesting to understand the people better. So by analyzing the data, going really deep into psychology and the brain and how the people think. And I was just curious about that. And I would say this is something that is still driving me. For many people, I'm pretty sure the interest was maybe the same, or even trying to predict something, because people like during the last like 1,000 years, they were always trying to predict, to see in the future. Yeah, so everyone wanted to have like a crystal ball. And then in 2013, that was a very nice quote. So take your time and read it. Yeah, there was a lot of buzz about the big data, and now basically you can strike it through and you can put whatever you want. Yeah, it could be blockchain also, but yeah, but the things are becoming better. So we have right now more experience, and we learned a lot of from our mistakes. So we have a lot of lessons learned, how to use the data and how to work with that. And now it's much more better, because everyone is seeing it's not that easy. Yeah, how it was in the beginning. And then there was another question, who is a data scientist, yeah, basically, because it's still not clear. There is a lot of definitions, and especially in these job descriptions, there are a lot of job descriptions, and if you open, you can see like the requirements, whom companies are looking for, and I always tell they look like a Santa Claus wish list, yeah, because they want to have everything, and I don't know a lot of data scientists who really have that much experience. There are not many. And then we came to the point that we were also, so basically we were like 3 of us, Dragos, Marvin, and then I joined them. And we were all engaged into analytics, so it was our job. And then we had a lot of questions, and we wanted to find the people who are like us to meet and to talk. But then we find out that it's not that easy to find. So we knew few, but not that many. And data scientists were at that time like this guy from Assassin's Creed. There was like a heroes, yeah, and there was even a quote: "The data scientist is the sexiest job," and so on and so on. So everyone was telling, "I'm not a data scientist," but if you search in the LinkedIn, it was written like a data scientist, machine learning engineer. But when you come and you start to talk about like techie stuff, they say, "No, no, no, like I just started," and so on. So, and then we decided to register Frankfurt Data Science on the meetup.com. At that time, it was Frankfurt Predictive Analytics, and then we renamed it to Frankfurt Analytics, and then we came up to the Frankfurt Data Science. So this is our page on the meetup.com. Yeah, that worked really well 5 years ago. Our first meeting was like 5 people were there, like including us, and Marvin, co-founder of the Frankfurt Data Science, gave a talk there, and then we had 10 people, and then we had 20 people in community. We're really growing really fast, and right now we have more than 3,500 people, and we organize events, and the popularity of this topic and of this subject is really growing. This is the cake that we got as a present. We celebrated 5 years on February, and members baked this cake, this beautiful cake. That was really awesome. Yeah, and what is the basically motivation why we are doing that? Because we are doing it as our hobby in our free time. And my wife, for example, she's not happy with that because it takes a lot of time for me, and I work, for example, on Sundays to make more. But the motivation was that we saw that there are too many gaps in this ecosystem and in this region in Rhine-Main, yeah, in Frankfurt. And I'm talking about different gaps on the different levels. For example, there were too many questions, yeah? Like few of them I already listed, like who are data scientists, what you can do with the data, what you can do to find the people, to ask them what you can do with data in real life, in real use cases and the companies. And yeah, of course you can Google or you can watch on the YouTube, but still you will not get the real, like the real first-hand experience from the person who can tell. And that was also the point with many other techie topics at that time, and still also. Yeah. And there were also not much interaction, and this is quite typical for our days. We are all online, we have a lot of connections, but there were not that many events that you can basically come and interact, like for example we have today. And also were not that many alternative of the meetups, because there were events, but most of them were like a conference style. For example, if you work somewhere in the company and company is sending, so basically you come to this conference and you present first of all your company and not yourself. At our meetup we are targeting basically the people, so individually, and this is something that we always trying to explain to the companies, especially who are coming and saying, hey, you know, we want to give a talk at your meetup, and we would like to bring some awareness to our company and find people who may be interested to start working at our company. And this is a very important point for us, that we tell guys, meetups are not like on the company level. Meetups are on the individual level. So basically we invite the speaker, and speaker of course works somewhere, yeah? And if he tells that he's working at this company and they are looking for data scientists, that's not absolutely a problem, but this is like very important point that we all consider all members as individuals and not where they are working. So for us, it basically doesn't matter. And I would like also to share a few things from, I call it my teenage time before, and at the beginning when I started to run this community, there were not that many events in Rhine-Main, and maybe there were more, but at least I was inspired by these ones, and most of them are still exist. And of course, this one is a Web Montag, so I think it's one of the oldest, and Bar Camp. And I also joined, by the way, even earlier before starting Frankfurt Data Science at TEDx Rhine-Main, and we were working with Wolfgang on that, and that was really a cool time, and that was a big inspiration for me. So I saw how is it going, and I saw that basically you can make a change by taking part and these cool initiatives. So all these events and all these communities are more about, first of all, about the inspiration, motivating people by sharing your stories, your experience, and this is a very important thing by at our events. People are many people are coming to get inspired and motivated, and then come back home and take a look at this topic, at this subject that the speaker were telling about. And to do more. So they can really see that there are a lot of people who are same as they, for example, shifting from other background to the data science background, or are starting to analyze the data. And this is a great place to be inspired and also inspire other people. So how we are doing and how does it look like? So these are the main points that are important for us when we are organizing the events and we are running this initiative. So content for us is super important. So we are trying to invite the best speakers, and this is basically the most difficult to find speakers. And we started even to invite people from other cities and even countries. We had speakers from Holland, for example. And content is super, super important for us because especially it's a techie topic. And I think we are doing well with it, but that takes really a lot of time for us to find a speaker. And alcohol and food is very important, so maybe it sounds not that important, but when people come after work to listen to talks and socialize, they need to be fit, they don't need to be hungry, and they need to drink alcohol, and then the socializing, the magic starts, yeah, so we can see, yeah. Okay, we will take a look, yeah. Yeah, so for us it's very important. That's why we have for free drinks and we have snacks and socializing, as I said already, important for us. And super important also for us that everything what we do brings some value. It does not really end at one evening. For example, we have an event and meetup, and there are 2-3 speakers, they made a talk, and that's it. So next day everyone forget about that. So we are always thinking how basically we can contribute, how we can extend the value out of that. And this is really a big challenge. This is something that we are working on, and I will show our plans and what we are doing this year. And ecosystem, of course. So basically, we cannot consider ourselves as a separate group of people who are doing something, but separately. So at some point, we realized that ecosystem is super important, and at some point, we realized also that we have an impact on this ecosystem, and especially that happens by working with other institutions or companies or organization or co-working space, incubators. So basically, the most impact comes from the partnering with the others. It could be also communities. And supporting, yeah, that's basically what's the idea why we are here today. We just want to tell about our story, about Frankfurt and Darmstadt, and maybe to give some idea to think that, okay, maybe Wiesbaden is ready and we can start to do something like that. And we are ready to support with everything what we can. So our events, they look approximately like that. So there are a lot of, we have a lot of photos also online. We started, as I said, with the 10 people. And for example, here we did a co-meetup with 2 other meetups, and we had 400 people. And we have talks, and we have socializing and discussions, and different people are coming. So basically that's how it looks like. And we're discussing mostly these topics. So this data is from surveys that we were doing. So it's all about data science, data machine learning, AI, deep learning, and so on. So quite technical topics. But what we are trying to do at our events, we are trying to combine technical topics with some, for example, use cases from the industry. So usually the people that are coming, they are techies, or they are like from the business or from academia, and not everyone is really very technical to understand like statistics and how it could be implemented. So we are trying to combine both and make happy both groups. So one talk, for example, about the use case, how data science is used. For example, it could be like Lufthansa or at Deutsche Bahn, and then the other talk is going about like really technology and deep into how the use case were developed and then implemented in production. We also started to record our talks. This was a very important step for us. We started to do it 1 year ago. So basically right now we can share the content internationally, and we're analyzing some data. We had a lot of watchers from United States, for example, and that was really a big step for us to try to do it really professionally. So basically we have a camera guy who's recording that, and then we bring that together. So basically we started to produce the content already. So what is our vision and mission? I already mentioned, but I would like to underline that communities are basically the driving force of the ecosystem, and this is what happens, for example, with Heimathafen in Wiesbaden. And how communities can achieve this impact is, of course, by partnering. Because communities, for example, I do that as a hobby. I don't have time to work on large projects, I don't know, some large events, conferences. So everything what we can do is partner with established teams, with established groups, and cooperate with them by bringing communities and some other experience. And one very important thing, that these institutions, they wouldn't do such project on their own as with us. For example, with us they can experiment, and they can say, okay, we are working with the community and we decide to do this cool hackathon, and this gives them a freedom. And another also a point that you can bring basically like several partners and do something with them together, and without our community, maybe in reality they would never do something together, but here they have a chance to do. So basically we are bringing several partners, several institutions. And there are a few stuff that we started to do. Like 2 years ago, for example, we organized a co-meetup together with the fintech community, which is also very popular in Frankfurt, and AI. And this year we did a second co-meetup. And this year we will also make another co-meetup with the women tech makers, which is very popular community also in Frankfurt. And this is everything is experiments for us. For example, with the fintech, we are combining data science with the industry, with finance. With the women tech makers, I'm really excited what will come out of that. That's basically bringing topic of data with a social layer for the social cut. So it's very interesting. So we are cooperating with other meetups. Then we are launching a new format of events. For example, in Frankfurt we have right now a lot of big meetups, but small events, this is something that really lacking, and we are pushing right now this small format events. For example, model review is reviewing, it's not doing really casting for the models, but reviewing really the algorithm. The people are coming and they're presenting the algorithm, and small amount of people, like approximately 10-15 experienced data scientists, they give their feedback. And we are doing it together with the TechWart here. It's a quite popular innovation hub in Frankfurt. The other thing that we do together with the Frankfurt School of Finances Management is a workshop accelerator. So we started to work on that. And the idea behind is basically to pick up someone from the community who has really a knowledge and deep knowledge and would like also to try himself as a professor, for example, not a professor, but more as a trainer, as a workshopper. And if he has like a full-time job and every day goes to work, he doesn't have such experience and such opportunity to do that. And our idea is basically to pick up this person and support him with building the curriculum and running like testing workshops. And Frankfurt School, of course, they are supporting with giving feedback on how to basically structure the workshop and how to run the workshops. And at the end, they could even certify and propose this as their course, as a part of executive education. Another event format that we do together, that we will do this year, is a dialogue. So basically, this is like inviting people like on this mainly senior level, for example, heads of data science, and organizing the panel discussion on some topics. So the idea is here that we give it some topics, for example, dialogue talents or dialogue production, and so on and so on. And this is also very pain topic on the job market, as I said. So there is a gap between the companies and the data scientists. And we have a lot of people coming to us and asking if we know someone who is looking for data scientists. And companies are also coming to us and asking that they are hiring. And data scientists, they don't have a problem with finding a job, but everyone is looking for something fancy. And here we started to cooperate with the Pitch Club. Pitch Club is also quite popular startup. They're organizing events which are based on the reverse recruiting. So at their events, the companies are presenting themselves. They're pitching, not the people. And then the people ask them the questions. And this is absolutely new experience for us. On the 25th of September, we will do an event, and we will bring together people from the data industry, so who are looking for a job, but also companies who are hiring. Before Pitch Club, they were specializing only on developers. This will be also a first experience for them. And we even decided to launch our fashion line for the data people, so it's more it's more like fun, but it's all started that we said, okay, we are 5 years, let's do some t-shirts, yeah? And then we thought, okay, what will be the simple solution is just a red t-shirt with our logo. But then we thought, oh, you can do this and that. And then we were like starting to brainstorm, and then it took it half a year, and we didn't make any single t-shirt. But right now we are working with a professional fashion designer from Frankfurt. And we would like really to do something cool, and we have also a contest, so anyone can send ideas, like maybe some questions, words or letters, or even maybe develop an algorithm that will generate, using the deep learning, some artificial images, yeah, and we can print and we can sign it with the name of this person. So to summarize, it brings a lot of fun for me, like as a hobby, and hobby must bring fun, and besides that, we have a feeling that we really make an impact, and this is very important, and this is what basically we wanted to share today here. And as Dominic said, for example, I registered a few months ago Wiesbaden Data Science, and we have already 71 people there, so if someone is interested to lead this community, let us know. The same I did with the Minds, and if someone knows someone from Minds also, please feel free. So we don't want to control or something. We just think that all these cities, they have potential. Maybe there will be not that big events as in Frankfurt, but that doesn't matter. I always say, for me, for example, it doesn't matter if it's 400 people or 10 people. The most important that these 10 people are the right people who are really interested, who are really inspired and motivated. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Danke für die Einladung. Na gut, also über mich, also ich komme aus Kasachstan und studiert habe ich in Russland und Mathematik, und mein gesamtes Leben mache ich nur Mathematik. und Dinge, die nicht mit Mathematik sind. Aber ich bin Mathematiker. Also, und die Geschichte ist so, dass ich auch, wie älter, mag eigentlich mit Leuten kommunizieren und dann habe ich alle möglichen Dinge organisiert. Zum Beispiel in Darmstadt gibt es noch Ontologenkreis. Das heißt, Leute, die sich für semantische Technologien, Ontologien interessieren, gibt es schon seit 10 Jahren. Ja, und allen möglichen anderen Sachen. Und dann in diesem Ontologenkreis gab es Diskussion, was ist Data Science? Das ist eine typische Diskussion. Muss man dazu sagen, dass wir im Ontologenkreis vor 10 Jahren haben uns gefragt, was ist eine Ontologie? Bis jetzt ist diese Frage nie geklärt, aber Ontologenkreis existiert. Na gut, und ich habe einfach Vortrag gehalten darüber, was ist Data Science aus unterschiedlichen Perspektiven. Es sind 8, 10 unterschiedliche. Ja, und das habe ich einfach aufgelistet. Und dann kam die Idee, vielleicht, wenn das so ist, dass das vielfältig ist, dann ist es etwas, was interdisziplinär sein kann. Ja, und dann habe ich frech in Xing angekündigt, also ich habe eine Idee, dass Data Science Leute sich treffen in Darmstadt, in einer Kneipe. Einfach treffen. Vielleicht gibt es ein paar interessante Leute. Und dann habe ich das angekündigt, dann kamen 3 Menschen. Und ich habe für mich so ein Prinzip vorgenommen, wenn 3 kommen, dann kann man das weitermachen. Also was hat Jesus gesagt, wenn 3 Leute für mich beten, dann bin ich auch dabei. In anderen Religionen gibt es auch so eine Ansicht. Also 3 Menschen ist schon Synergie, die ausreicht. Gut, dann waren das 3 Menschen. Nun gut, dann haben wir einfach getrunken, erzählt über alles und dann waren 3 verschiedene Standpunkte. Dann haben wir noch eine Anzeige gemacht. Bei Xing auch. Und dann kamen nächstes Mal 8 Menschen. Das war schon spannend, ja. Und von diesen 8 Menschen, also die 3, muss man auch dazu sagen, die 3, die erste Mal kamen, wir haben uns gekannt davor. Und bei 8 Leuten, die 5 neue, haben wir davor nie gesehen. Das war ganz spannend. Und dann war so Überlegung, ja, das Data Science Treffen wird diese Themen behandeln. Also Data Science ist das, was Data Scientisten nennen Data Science. Also das ist sozusagen eine alte, verrückte Idee, dass man ihn voraus definieren soll. Data Science ist das, was Data Scientisten, die sich als Data Scientisten bezeichnen, was sie halt als Data Science sehen. Also das habe ich so, wie Elder gesagt hat, einfach anfangen und tun. Ja, dann sind wir halt jetzt 8 Leute, dann war halt die Sommerpause. Also wir haben angefangen vor einem Jahr, muss man sagen. Und dann irgendwann im Oktober wurde gesagt, ja, wir treffen uns in Kneipe, so Stammtisch, aber muss man vielleicht etwas Vernünftiges machen. Und dann haben wir überlegt, worüber wir uns austauschen. Und die Idee war, dass wir uns Wissen sozusagen austauschen. Wissen austauschen, dass wir auch Projekte gemeinsam machen. Und das war zu diesem Zeitpunkt, haben wir uns schon privat kennengelernt. Im Sinne, dass wir uns so persönlich E-Mails ausgetauscht haben. Und dann kam ein Kollege, heißt Stefan Ernst, der kennt ihn auch, und er hat den Slack Workbench organisiert. Einfach gemacht und dann schreiben wir alles, was uns im Kopf reinfällt. Egal was, ob das vernünftig ist oder nicht, schreiben wir was raus. Manchmal sogar Quellcode, egal. Und es ist Slack, ist interessant, man kann reinschauen, was lesen. Zum Beispiel Bücher, die verbreitet sind, dann, was auch interessant sind, verschiedene Quellen, wo man kostenlos und erlaubt Daten holen kann. Ja? Das ist auch ein Problem. Woher kann man Daten holen? Also man kann sicher generieren, also Mathematiker können alles ausdenken. Gut. Und so ist das Slack entstanden, also die Gruppe entstanden und die kam zur Idee, sich etwas Vernünftiges zu machen, Inhaltliches, nicht nur sozusagen Stammtisch. Na gut, und dann haben wir uns einmal getroffen mit Vorträgen und dann war die Idee, kam von ihm, ja, das Problem war, in dieser Kneipe war schon zu laut. Und ja, man kann in Coworking sich treffen. Coworking 21, das ist in Darmstadt, gibt es in der Nähe von Bahnhof. Verrückt war, dass ich dann Betreiber sehr lange gekannt habe davor. Ist mir einfach in meinen Kopf diese Idee nie gekommen und wir treffen uns seitdem dort. So, und seitdem hat sich etabliert eine Philosophie, also 2 Prinzipien haben wir schon von Beginn an gemerkt, dass man muss auch keine utopischen Ideen haben. Also wir sind halt, jeder Mensch kann nicht jeden Tag rennen zu anderen Veranstaltungen. Und wir machen einmal im Monat und wir organisieren keine großen Sachen, weil das ist zuerst aufwendig und so zweite, es gibt in Frankfurt was Großes, wo Vorträge gehalten werden. In Darmstadt gibt es viele, viele Möglichkeiten, Vorträge zu hören. Überhaupt kein Problem. Das ist so technische Uni. Und dann einfach die Idee war, dass wir zusammenkommen und erzählen uns etwas gegenseitig und auch mitspielen. Und dann kann man eine Reihe von Vorträgen von ganz jungen Leuten, die sozusagen Python-Fanatiker sind. Python, Machine Learning. Und die Idee, dann haben wir gesagt, jeder, der mitmachen, man kann mitmachen, richtig mitmachen, sitzen und mitmachen. Und nicht 3 Vorträge, sondern ein Vortrag, der dauert etwa maximal 1 Stunde und alle anderen können nur mitspielen. Ja, dann haben wir gesagt, jeder muss Python installiert haben, der das mitmachen will und auch an Anaconda. Also Anaconda für so Leute wie mich, die technisch unbegabt sind und wie sozusagen Anaconda war, okay. Ja. Na gut, das ist eine Sache. Dann haben wir richtig nie gesteuert, wer zu uns kommt. Einfach das gehen lassen, wie passiert. Und auch das Prinzip, unser Treffen macht das, was die Leute wollen. Also Treffen und Data Science ist so definiert, wie wir das definieren. Was das in wissenschaftlichen Büchern steht, ist egal. Ja, gut. Ja, und dann kam das die Idee, dann habe ich zufällig kennengelernt Elder und dann hat er gesagt, ja, man kann das Meetup machen. Ich habe gehört, dass Meetup existiert, aber so richtig darauf nie geachtet und dann hat Elder für uns Meetup sozusagen aufgebaut und wir haben das sozusagen genossen und verwenden weiterhin. Wir haben auch parallele Kommunikationsmittel, das sind halt Slack und verschiedene sozusagen Homepages haben einige von uns, aber Meetup ist entscheidende Struktur, wo Leute sich informieren, wann was passiert. Wir treffen uns jeden 2. Montag des Monats. Treffen dauert 2 Stunden und wir haben nur einen Vortrag. Also von Struktur von Menschen, wir sind unterschiedliche, also interdisziplinär. Im Sinne, wir haben unser engagiertester Mensch ist ein Designer, einfach Designer, der Fanatiker ist, aber trotzdem ein Designer. Und wir haben Leute mit BWL-Hintergrund, mit Informatik, mit allen möglichen. Also technisch herum, aber trotzdem. Wir sind auch unterschiedliches Alter. Unsere Gruppe ist wahrscheinlich die älteste Data Science Gruppe, die existiert. Das heißt, wir haben, es sind 3 Leute, die sind älter, 4 sogar, die älter als ich sind. Also ich bin 60 und ja, aber es sind etwa so 20, 25 junge Leute und einige sind echt jung. Ja. Zum Beispiel Robert hat er ist halt 20. Ja. Und das ist total faszinierend. Wir sind auch international. Wir haben auch Leute aus Indonesien, aus Frankreich, Spanien und das ist halt unsere Tradition. Ja. Also wir wollen nicht steuern, wir haben keine Wünsche, wer zu uns kommt. Wer kommt, der kommt und der kommt, der alle, die mitmachen, definieren, was wir machen wollen. Das ist eine einfache Idee. Ja. Und sicher, wenn jemand was wissen will, kann man fragen. Also wir haben nicht eine Kultur, dass wir E-Mail-Austausch pflegen. Und wenn jemand mathematische Fragen, dann kommen sie zur Mathematik. Wir haben 4 Mathematiker. Ja, das ist unsere Struktur, unsere Idee. Also ich denke, dass vielleicht für kleine Gruppen ist sogar eine von möglichen Modellen, dass einfach Leute das tun, was von Natur aus liegt, diese Gruppe. Weil man muss sehen, wir machen das nebenberuflich. Ja? Wir sind Menschen, wir haben beschränkte Ressourcen. Und wir machen das, was uns gefällt. Egal, ob das Also ja, wir fühlen uns nicht keine sozusagen allgemeine Vorstellungen gebunden. Ja? Lesen alles Mögliche und sind offen für die Kommunikation. Wir freuen uns für jede Person mit anderen Gruppen. In Darmstadt gibt es eine KI-Gruppe, heißt es AI School. Ja, und das ist unsere Strategie. So richtige Pläne wie Ältere haben wir sich nicht, weil wir nur ein Jahr sind. Und wir überlegen bis Ende des Jahres unsere Gruppe einfach monolith zu machen und so richtig sagen, eine aktive Gruppe. Mehr haben wir noch nicht vor. Und was in 2 Jahren passiert, 3 Jahren, was lieber Gott. Vielleicht steigen wir alle in anderen Bereichen um. Ich weiß nicht. Ja, das ist unser jetziger Stand. Und jeder ist willkommen. Und jeder ist willkommen, bei uns auch in Slack dabei zu sein. Nicht nur Darmstädter. Wir haben ein paar Freunde aus Berlin, die unsere privaten Freunde sind, die auch in unser Slack was reinschreiben und lesen. So, das war's. Danke. Für eure Interesse.